Hello everyone, myself Yuthika Mankar. I am a MTech research scholar under a Department of Food Technology at MIT ADT University. Today I am going to present on sustainable food supply chain management. So firstly, we will see the content, introduction, food supply chain, key components of sustainable food supply chain, challenges and solutions, environmental impact, economic and social aspects, implementation strategies, future trends. Now, introduction. We have to understand what is food supply chain management. So basically, food supply chain management aims to create a food system that balances social, economical, and environmental viabilities. This approach emphasizes reducing resource consumption and waste, such as optimizing water, energy in production, minimizing food waste, and adopting eco-friendly packaging. It supports ethical sourcing by choosing suppliers who adhere a sustainability standard like fair trade or organic certification and ensures human treatment of animals through responsible farming practices. Socially, it focuses on fair labor conditions, promoting work safety, fair wages, and supporting local communities. And while talking about economical aspect, economically it seeks to balance the cost of implementing sustainable practices with long-term savings and market opportunities. Now we will see the global challenges in food supply chain management. The first is climate change. Agriculture is major emitter of greenhouse gases, including methane from fermentation in ruminants and nitrous oxide from fertilizers. Climate change increases the frequency and severity of weather events such as droughts, floods, and hurricanes, affecting agricultural productivity and supply chain stability. The next is resource depletion. Intensive farming practices leads to nutrient depletion and increased erosion and reduced soil fertility. Excessive irrigation deplete freshwater resources. Reliance on fossil fuels for various processes contribute to resource depletion and pollution. Fossil fuels are used in machinery, fertilizers, and transportation within the food supply chain, contributing to resource depletion and environmental pollution. Then the social inequalities. Agricultural workers often face poor working conditions, low wages, and inadequate protection, particularly in developing countries. Smallholder farmers and marginalized communities frequently lack access to technology, financial resources, and market opportunities. Now we will see the stages in food supply chain: production, processing, distribution, consumption, and disposal. First, we will understand the production. In production, farming, harvesting, and post-harvest management, this type of practices mainly get performed. Growing various types of crops, including planting, growing, and harvesting various crops such as grains, fruits, and vegetables. Altering crops to improve soil health, avoiding synthetic input, and using natural methods utilizes natural fertilizer, pest control method, and prohibit synthetic chemical to enhance soil health and reduce environmental impact. Designing farming system to mimic natural ecosystem integrates ecological principle into farming practices, promoting biodiversity, soil health, and economic services. With that, post-harvest management also plays an important role in the food supply chain management and it lowers the spoilage rate of the perishable food products. Now, talking about processing. Processing means converting or transferring raw materials or raw agricultural product into consumable food items such as milling wheat into flour or processing milk into cheese. The next come distribution. Distribution means distributing or moving food product from processing facilities to retail and consumer location, with maintaining food quality during transit and storage, including refrigeration and freezing. Then the consumption part. Consumption means buying food product from various sources. Consumers buy food product from various sources, shops, malls, including farmers market or online platform. It involves cooking and preparing food for consumption. And the last stage is disposal. Waste management involves handling food waste and packaging materials at the end of the cycle. It means to minimize the impact of waste on human health and the environment. Proper waste management practices are essential for reducing pollution, conserving resources, and promoting sustainability. Now, this is a clear picture of the stages, how the food get prepared, then processed, then it passed to distributor or suppliers. From them, it comes to the retailers or restaurants, then on the plate of the consumers. It can be home consumers or restaurant consumers. Now we will see traditional versus sustainable food supply chain. First, traditional food supply chain. Traditional food supply chain aims often follow a linear model focused on maximizing output with limited consideration for environmental or social impact. High consumption of resources, including water, energy, and raw materials, leading to environmental degradation. Significant production of waste with limited recycling or refuse or reuse efforts. There can be challenges such as environmental degradation and social inequities. Now, while talking about sustainable food supply chain, so basically it reduces waste and optimizing resource use, adopts a circular model to minimize waste, optimize resource use, and enhances recycling and reuse. Focuses on efficient use of resource, including reducing waste, minimizing environmental impact through practices like precision agriculture and renewable energy. Emphasizes reducing, reusing, and recycling materials to close the loop in the supply chain. It benefits in environmental improvement and social equity. Now we will see the key components of sustainable food supply chain. Sustainable agriculture, efficient resource use, waste reduction, and renewable energy. So talking about sustainable agriculture, basically it uses organic farming, which is a method of agricultural production that emphasizes environmental sustainability, health, and biodiversity. It avoids the use of synthetic chemical, genetically modified organisms, means GMOs, and practices that can harm ecosystem. Instead, it focuses on natural processes and inputs to manage crops and livestock. Sources materials from suppliers that adhere to environmental and social sustainability standards. Engages with certifications like Fair Trade, Organic, and Rainforest Alliance to ensure the sustainable sourcing. The next is efficient resource use. In that, the water, which include rainwater harvesting, energy, which includes solar energy or wind energy, and raw materials. We have to reuse this type of energies to avoid the environmental impact, the wise environmental impact, so that our supply chain will be sustainable. The next is waste reduction. Waste reduction performs a very important role in sustainable food supply chain management, as it has a hierarchy of reduce, feed people in need, feed livestock, compost and 100% renewable energy and disposal. So reducing the quantity means if we need particular quantity, then don't use more than that. Feed people in need. If you are having a extra food which you are not going to consume, then feed the people which actually need it. Once you've done this step, still your food remaining, then feed to livestock. And after doing these two stages, compost it to make a renewable energy disposal. This ultimately leads to reducing greenhouse gas emission, food security, resource conservation, and economic growth. The next is renewable energy, solar, wind, and biomass. As we know, solar power is a renewable source that harnesses energy from the sun and convert it into electricity or heat. It's a key component of the global transition to cleaner energy sources and plays a significant role in reducing greenhouse gas emission and combating climate change. Wind energy is a form of renewable energy that harnesses the power of wind to generate electricity or perform mechanical work. It is one of the fastest growing energy sources worldwide due to its potential for reducing greenhouse gas emission and reliance on fossil fuel, so as biomass. So this ultimately leads to powering processing facilities, reduce carbon footprints, and supporting the sustainable farming practices. Next are the challenges in implementing sustainable practices. High initial cost. The first upfront investment for technology and infrastructure can be high. Lack of awareness, limited understanding of sustainable practices, which can be defeated by the solutions as educational programs and knowledge sharing platforms. The third is resistance to change. Established practices and stakeholder resistance that we are comfortable for this particular practice, we can't adopt a new technology or new practices. So the solutions for this can be the stakeholder engagement, involve stakeholders in planning and implementation and offer rewards and recognition. The next are technological innovations. Precision agriculture, blockchain technology, AI, and IoT. So precision agriculture basically contain technologies such as GPS and drones, sensor technologies to measure soil moisture, nutrient levels, GPS and drones for monitoring crop health and field condition. Blockchain technology traceability provide a transparent record of food product, record every step of the food supply chain from farm to fork, ensuring transparency, enhances coordination among stakeholders and reduces fraud and inefficiencies. Artificial intelligence and Internet of Things forecast demand and predicts disruptions, utilizes AI to forecast demand, predict supply chain disruptions, and optimizes inventory levels, monitors conditions and performance, employs Internet of Things sensors to monitor conditions such as temperature, humidity during storage and transportation. These are some articles which talk about the sustainable supply chain. Next, we will see the impact of food supply chain on environment. The first is greenhouse gas emission. Agriculture contributes significantly to global greenhouse gas emissions. Methane emission come mainly from livestock. Nitrous oxide is released from fertilized soils. Carbon dioxide emissions result from deforestation and land use changes. Food processing, packaging, transportation, and storage also add to emissions. Traditional supply chain contributes significantly to emissions, contribute to emission through fermentation in livestock, rice paddies, and the use of synthetic fertilizers. The next is now water uses. Agriculture is major consumer of fresh water. Insufficient irrigation practices can cause water wastage. Runoff from fields can carry fertilizers and pesticides into water bodies. Processing also consumes water. Overuse leads to scarcity and environmental degradation. Excessive water used for irrigation and processing deplete water resources and affect local ecosystems. Runoff from agriculture activities can lead to water pollution and degradation of water qualities. Next is deforestation. Large tracts of land are used for growing crops and raising livestock. This often leads to deforestation. Also, it can cause loss of biodiversity. Intensive farming practices can lead to soil degradation and reducing land fertility over the time. Deforestation for agriculture, particularly for crops like soy and palm oil, leads to habitat loss and biodiversity decline. Loss of forest reduces the Earth's capacity to sequester carbon dioxide. Economic benefits of sustainability. In this, first is cost saving. It reduces operational cost by optimizing the use of resources such as water, energy, and raw materials. Lower costs related to waste management and disposal through efficient resource use and recycling. The next is new market opportunities. Creates new products and services such as plant-based foods, eco-friendly packaging, and sustainable supply chain solutions. Access to markets valuing sustainability opens up new markets and customer segments that prioritize sustainability. Third is long-term profitability. Once you invest in this, it give profit for long-term uh, on the long-term platforms. Next is implementation strategies. First, corporate responsibility, sustainability programs, reporting, leadership. Demonstrate commitment to sustainability through practices and transparency. Publish reports on sustainability efforts. Ensure supply chain partners meet standards. Some examples like sustainable certification, obtain certification like fair trade or organic, then public commitment, set and commit to sustainability targets. The next is consumer behavior, influence of consumer choices, trends, impacts. Educate and encourage consumers to make sustainable choices, such as inform customers about sustainable products, offer rewards from environmental friendly purchases. Uh, the examples like promote products with sustainability labels, provide information on reducing food waste. The last is collaboration and partnerships. So collaboration across the supply chain drives large scale challenges. Partnerships between farmers, processors, retailers, and consumers. Shared knowledge, resources, and goals enhance sustainability. Foster collaboration among stakeholders to advance sustainability. Collaborate on sustainability initiatives. Support local sustainability products. Future trends in sustainable food supply chain. Plant-based foods. Growing interest in plant-based diets drives innovations. Increase in plant-based meat and dairy alternatives. Rising demand for healthier and eco-friendly foods. Expansion by companies like Beyond Meat. Development of algae and insect-based foods. The next is lab-grown meat. It is also an alternative option for eating live animals. It is a lab grown meat, so basically it comes under a sustainability program. Next is vertical farming. Urban agriculture through vertical farming reduces land use and resource consumption, utilizes vertical space in urban areas, reduce waste, water and energy, growing plants without soil and fresh produce supply within cities to reduce transportation emissions. Call of actions: encourage stakeholders to take specific actions to promote sustainability, such as adapt sustainable practices, support policy changes, educate consumers, and foster collaboration. Conclusion: sustainable food supply chain management is essential for reducing environmental impact. It involves using resources efficiently and minimizing waste. Practices include precision agriculture, reducing food waste, and improving food supply chain efficiency. Sustainable management helps to protect the environment and ensure food security for future generations. Adopting sustainable food supply chain management is crucial for addressing global challenges. By integrating sustainable practices, leveraging technological innovations, and fostering collaborations, we can build an equitable and environmentally responsible food system. The move towards sustainability will enhance environmental qualities, provide economic benefits, and support a sustainable future for global food systems. Sustainable food supply chain management is crucial for addressing the environmental, social, and economical challenges facing the global food system. By implementing sustainable practices at each stage of supply chain from production to disposal, organizations can improve efficiency, reduce environmental impact, and support social equity. The future of sustainable food supply chain management will likely see increased adoption in innovative technologies, more stringent regulations, and a growing emphasis on circular economic principle. Collaboration among stakeholders, including governments, businesses, and consumers, will be essential in driving progress towards a more sustainable and equitable food systems. Thank you.